It's another edition of Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Anne Nwawadu. On the program today, we speak with the Managing Director and Regional Executive of Ecobank, Patrick Akinwuton, on what makes Ecobank unique. We also speak with the Group Managing Director of Redstar Express, a licensee of FedEx, on the corporate social responsibility initiatives of the organization. Once again, welcome to the program. It operates in over 30 countries across Africa and other parts of the world. Let's find out more about the Pan-African Bank. Incorporated as a public limited liability company on October the 7th, 1986, Ecobank Nigeria Limited is a subsidiary of Africa's leading independent banking group, Ecobank Transnational Incorporated, which was established under a private sector initiative spearheaded by the Federation of West African Chambers of Commerce and Industry with the support of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. In the early 1980s, the banking industry in West Africa was dominated by foreign and state-owned banks. There were hardly any commercial banks in West Africa owned and managed by the African private sector. ETI was founded with the objective of filling this vacuum. Following the successful acquisition of Ashonik Bank International by the Ecobank Group in 2011, Ecobank Nigeria has become a top-tier bank in terms of assets, customer base, deposits and branches. The bank currently operates a consolidated online real-time branch network in over 600 locations across the country. The Ecobank Group serves about 24 million customers in the consumer, commercial and corporate banking sectors across 33 African countries. The group has banking license in France and representative offices in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Johannesburg, Beijing, China, London and Dubai. Ecobank's unique and largest Pan-African platform is designed to help unlock the opportunities of the continent through standardization, fueling regional integration, trade and investment across borders. Let's have a chat with the Managing Director and Regional Executive of Ecobank, Patrick Akinwuton. Let me begin by congratulating you for winning the Asian Bank Award for Best Retail Bank in Nigeria. How does this make you feel?
Well, it is really nice to see that our efforts, particularly in Nigeria, is being recognized. We've always been recognized across the continent. We won Best Retail Bank in Africa, that's Ecobank, in 2018, 2019 at the Africa Bankers Awards. We've also been Most Innovative Bank in Africa, severally. We've also been the most recognized digital bank in Africa. That was by Global Finance last year. As a Pan-African bank, we have many laurels, both in the corporate banking space, in the retail banking space, in the innovation space. And we're proud that this has been made possible by our customers, by our staff, by governments that support us all across Africa. But it's a call for us to do even much more. Finally, thanks to God, it's all by His work.
You won the Best Retail Banker in Africa in the year 2016. Tell me, what really drives you?
Wow. Well, my background, personally, my dad is a teacher. My mother was a small retailer. So I learned the value of credit to growing the capacity of hardworking business women. I speak to what my mother was. She's late now. But the fact is that I saw that each time she had the required support to be able to expand her business, her ability to deliver was more or less guaranteed. So I trained as a chartered accountant. And somewhere in my career, I had the opportunity to review a bank. And I saw very quickly that perhaps I can add a lot of value.
Now, what makes Ecobank a unique African, not just African, Nigerian brand?
Well, Ecobank is indeed unique. At the beginning, we started out as a banking group with shareholders from 16 countries from day one, primarily countries in ECOWAS sub-region, but with a vision to build a world-class Pan-African bank. So from day one, we started out as a Pan-African bank, not as a country-based brand that expanded into Africa. We're very unique in that respect. And we used to joke in the early 90s that you could work in 5 countries in a day, only in Ecobank. Fast forward, we're currently in 35 countries in Africa. Actually, beyond the AU, it's going to be difficult to find any other institution that has more coverage across Africa. In fact, I can say we are next to AU in coverage of Africa. We pioneered quite a number of things in Nigeria. For instance, we were the first to issue an international payment card in Nigeria, the Ecobank MasterCard, which was introduced in 2004 with the support of the central bank. But we dared to ensure that we play to global standards in Nigeria. We introduced a digital remittance product available for all Africans, the Ecobank Rapid Transfer. It is unique to us. The large corporates that we serve are able to do payments across the network in Africa, see their position at any point in time from our Ecobank Omni platform. At the individual level, we have arguably the most unique mobile app in banking, perhaps globally. That's the uniqueness of Ecobank. And today, we have more than 12 million users on that app. Of course, we also have the USSD platform, which in Nigeria is *326#. It's also unique because that 326 means ECO, Echo. And I'm yet to find which other bank has a string or a mobile string that is equal to the name of the bank. That's the uniqueness of Ecobank, making life better for Africans, making the economic climate of Africa better, empowering people to take their destiny in their hands, placing Africa at the forefront of global commerce.
Ecobank organizes a sustainability week, which shows your commitment to environmental sustainability. I mean, you had a plan to clear 4 million plastic bottles off drainages in Lagos. How far have you gone with achieving this, and what are you doing to ensure environmental safety around you?
Environmental safety is a big deal for us at Ecobank. And so driving around, going to our various branches is very easy to see the challenges posed by plastic bottles all around the place. We challenged ourselves that how do we do this whilst also having other benefits? So we decided to launch the 4 million plastics collection campaign last year, and we actually gained very good momentum. Just before the famous COVID-19 came around, we had collected 2.7 million bottles, and we had to pause because of the COVID and the various protocols attached to it, but we'll resume very shortly. We expect to resume before the end of the year. But the major side benefits, apart from cleaning the gutters or opening the pathway for water to flow, as you would see during this rainy season, we believe strongly that part of the bottles we removed aided in reducing the number of incidences of overflooding all around the metropolis, but also provided employment because we were paying per kilogram of the plastics that was brought in by anybody from the general public. And very quickly, a lot of the unemployed in particular saw it as an opportunity to not only add to the quality of the environment, but also earn money in this process. And we're quite pleased with that. We also saw that people were interested in the education part of it, the advocacy. So we saw an opportunity and we took that training to secondary schools to explain to secondary school students the challenges with having plastic thrown all around the place, or the makeup of plastic, and how that can be recycled into chairs, into bed or desks. And a lot of the young ones were very creative. We actually had a competition among some schools and gave awards for unique innovation coming from the students. But in addition to this, we also have the collaboration with the Lagos Waste Management Agency, where we joined them to clean the waterfronts in Lagos. And we did that last year. And we were set to do that this year also, again before COVID, and we remain committed. Beyond this, we actually have an annual Ecobank Day event that is done across the entire network. And this year is the 8th year of the Ecobank Day, which is dedicated to giving back to the society. So in the past, we've done renovation of primary schools. In the past, we've done cleaning up of garages, planting of trees. But last year, we decided to focus on non-communicable diseases, NCDs. And last year, we actually did a walk for bringing consciousness to better management of cancer and early detection and prevention of cancer as much as possible. So we gave free checkups to members of the public. We created enough education on health habits to avoid as much as possible. This year, we're focusing on better management of diabetes. As you know, the workforce in Africa, and particularly in Nigeria, is challenged by the high number of diabetic cases. We also have the Eradicate Malaria program that we've done across the group, and we continue to do so. We've been focusing on not necessarily the major headline items, but items that have high impact. And we adopted that during the COVID-19 pandemic. When it started, or when the index case was identified in Nigeria, we decided that we would focus on the prevention. So we did campaigns across about 50 radio stations in various local languages. We launched what was called the Stay Safe Nigeria campaign on social media, on radio. Of course, as a bank, we also joined in the COVID donations. We really take seriously the feedback that we've seen in respect of that.
And where do you see Ecobank going to in the future in terms of your commitment to your communities around you and your commitment to business?
Thank you. We consider that we're the face of Africa when you talk of financial services. And therefore, we rededicate ourselves to playing to world-class standards. Financial inclusion remains a major agenda for us. It is, interestingly, a major agenda for the government of Nigeria and the central bank. We continue to implement our young graduates program called the Graduate Trainee and the Management Trainee program. The CIBN has recognized our focus on capacity building, particularly for the young graduates. We remain committed to our small and medium-scale entrepreneurs. They are the engine of growth. They create the employment that we so desire in Nigeria. And then at the higher level, we're more focused on the export potential of Nigeria. So working with the multinationals, Nigeria has every potential to become the export giant of Africa beyond crude oil, and we remain committed to the welfare of our customers through our various services and CSR, and to our people through giving them a chance to get to the top.
And when Kaleidoscope returns in just a moment, we'll delve into the activities of one of the leading logistic companies in Nigeria. Welcome back. As a licensee of FedEx, Redstar Express has contributed its own quota through several initiatives. But let's tell you a few things about the organization. Established in 1992, Redstar Express plc is a licensee of Federal Express FedEx Corporation, the world's largest delivery solutions provider. The company has over 150 offices nationwide, with a network reach spanning over 1,500 communities in Nigeria and over 200 countries worldwide, made up of 7 subsidiaries. Redstar Express plc provides a portfolio of full logistics solutions, which includes, but not limited to, international and domestic express delivery, freight forwarding, integrated logistics solution, information and documents management solutions, warehousing and e-commerce solutions. Redstar Express became a publicly quoted company on the Nigerian Stock Exchange on November 14, 2007. The company's mission is to continually design and provide best-in-class logistics solutions to deliver sustainable and rewarding value to all stakeholders. In 2004, the organization set up its philanthropic arm known as the Red Star Foundation to cater for those in need and improve the quality of lives of citizens across the country. The company started its corporate social responsibility initiatives with education. Let's hear more from the Group Managing Director of Redstar Express, Shola Obabori. The philanthropic arm of the organization began in 2004, and since then you've been able to cover various states across the country. But you started with education. Tell us about those early years.
Yes, the early years, precisely 2004, we were looking at how to create impact that is beyond, dividends for shareholders, job creation for locals who are in this environment. And we looked at the issue of what more can we do that will have lasting social impact on the environment. And that's what, as a matter of fact, brought the idea of Redstar Foundation to start with. And we were looking at 3 major areas, which will, of course, tie to the SDG of the United Nations. And first was to look at the issue of poverty alleviation, because at the root of all the problems we can find in our environment will be poverty. There is deep poverty in the land, which of course you will also see in recent times have triggered some of the troubles we've seen all across our country. And secondly is the fact that if we tackle education sufficiently, that will enlighten the minds of the people, and that way they will be able to fend for themselves, create value, and add to the good of the society. And thirdly was to look at the issue of empowerment for various categories of persons. So when you take these 3 pillars and you tie them back to the SDG, you will find us summarizing the 17 SDGs into 3 pillars. So 1, poverty alleviation, number 2, education, and number 3, empowerment for the people. Those were the 3 things we looked at the beginning, and we started with education, of course. And also for the schools that are here, there are quite a number of students who are there whose parents cannot afford to give them quality education. They cannot afford the fees. And these were some of the things we looked at the beginning. And that brought the idea of our scholarship program. And that has run from 2004 till 2020, up until today. The early days were rough because we were looking for how to also fund the initiative. And the board and the management at that time agreed that from the process of our profit after tax, we will have to earmark a certain percentage from there, which will go into a certain fund, which will be in perpetuity.
So let's begin with the student mentorship scheme. Tell us what this is about.
What we have done with the mentorship program is to ensure that they can have access to staff. They can have opportunity of being mentored by an executive of our company. Now, don't forget that by virtue of our business, we are an elitist kind of business in a way. We have all manner of professionals who work here. We have legion of chartered accountants in the house. We have lawyers. We have process engineers. We have people who are experts in logistics and supply chain. And so if you are a student in any school, you will be aspiring to become one of these people in the future. What we've done with this scheme is to ensure that for every scholar of Redstar, they are tied to an executive of Redstar, which means that they can call them at any time. They can ask questions. Don't forget that in our society, some parents are not highly educated, and their children are there who are looking at people that they can emulate or have as their role models.
And how many students have benefited from this scheme so far?
Over the years, we have over 200 right now. We have over 200. These students will come in from SS1, and then we take them through SS2, SS3. Some have also gone into the university and have graduated. And of course, we've given them opportunity to come back to Redstar to work. That is to say that beyond giving you an opportunity to be our scholar, when you are done with your education, you can also come back and work in this company.
Now, there are millions of children across the country who are not privileged to have quality education like we've been talking about. How do you select your beneficiaries?
Okay, the selection process is also professionally done. We work in conjunction with Unilag Consult, which of course has competence in testing of students for scholarship programs, etc. And therefore, in conjunction with some other consultants, they will go to some schools across Lagos. Our immediate environment, which is Oshodi Solo local government, has the topmost priority for us because these are our immediate neighbors. And there are about 6 or 7 schools around here that have benefited in the last couple of years. They go to some of those schools, we'll ask them for results of the students in the last exam from GSS 3, and that qualifies them to participate in the test. The best out of them will be chosen, and then they will go through some other layers of interview with Unilag Consult, and then the best are finally chosen and presented to Redstar. If you have 200 students who have graduated on your bill, I will say that's a good contribution to society. We have over 2,000 staff in Redstar as we speak right now. So that means that about 10% of the staff who work here over the years have also benefited as scholars of Redstar.
Now, share with us some of the other areas aside education that your interventions have been able to make positive impact on.
First on the pillar for us is the poverty alleviation. So once every year we have what is called the I Care project, meaning charity must begin from me. Everyone who works in Redstar who is gainfully employed has a responsibility to be his brother's keeper. And so for all of the staff of Redstar, we have a contribution to make financially every year to a purse and to a pool of funds that is put together to help the society. And what that does is that we pull these funds together to address issues that have to do with IDPs across the country. We have quite a number of them in the north right now. So when these funds are gathered, we buy loads of food items, etc. Even before the days of palliatives came, that has been on for many, many years. And when that is put together, these funds are used to buy all manner of materials that they might require. And when that is also done, we do borehole projects that are there to help them have access to potable water. And then some of the time also, we go to SOS villages to ensure that children whose parents are not alive or available, or children that have been abandoned by their parents can also be attended to. These are some of the areas that we think that beyond focusing on education, we can also help the communities that we are doing business with.
And last year, I recalled at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, you spoke to Channels Television about a plan to raise 1.4 billion naira in investment in agriculture and also leveraging technology. 1 year down the line, how has that plan gone? Yeah,
very well, I'll say. We were able to complete the process of raising the funds in March 2020. And from that time up until now, our projects are being implemented. I spoke about agriculture from the context of being service providers to those who are in mainstream agriculture. We looked at the total supply chain of agric, and we saw that there was a lot of gap in terms of providing assets that are required for movement of items that will require cold chain, and that's why we had to invest a whole lot of money in buying trucks and motorcycles and assets that can handle cold materials from point to point. And if you go around Nigeria, you will see quite a lot of gaps here and there that are still to be filled. And that's a major area for Redstar as far as our growth platforms are concerned for the next couple of years. At the moment, we're working on some projects at the airport and in some other locations around Nigeria where we can store items needing temperature control. If you go back and check statistics around agriculture, you see that quite a lot of what is produced is lost in transit. Get to the farm store somewhere around mile 12 there, and you will see the amount of tomatoes and things brought from the northern part of Nigeria that are lost upon arrival because they can't be warehoused in cold chain environment. In terms of other things we intended to do, which is to also upgrade in terms of IT infrastructure, that also is in process. So what's in this for farmers or beneficiaries involved in it? What do they stand to benefit? Quite a lot. If you produce your vegetables from the farm and you can take them to the market 100%, and you can sell them 100% without having to suffer 10 or 20% post-harvest losses, that is a lot of money for you.
Are your projects solely sponsored by the organization, or do you implement them through partnerships with other organizations?
We fund most of our projects ourselves through the Redstar Foundation investment fund that is kept with investment houses. However, where we have non-for-profit organizations that would like to partner with us, we're also open to such partnerships. During COVID, there were quite a number of them who approached us to help them do distribution of food, which we did free of charge. There were community interventions that we did during COVID that were also done in conjunction with some NGOs.
Any future plan to do more in terms of contributing your own quota to helping the society? Are there any other sectors you plan to focus or pay more attention to?
I mean, there's always a lot of room for improvement. Whatever we've done in the past that is working well, we'll continue to do. The scholarship scheme has worked very well. We will have to keep doing that for as long as we have power to do that. In terms of the empowerment of the people, quite a lot has to be done. We are looking at how do we help the women who are in this environment at some point. How do we make funds available to some of them to engage in petty trading? What communities can we adopt and build infrastructure for them to help them participate in sports? If that will help them to put more energy around things that will be beneficial to the community, that is an area we will be looking at. And in terms of the focus on education, a lot still has to be done. There are laboratories, there are schools that do not have the right type of infrastructure in terms of building. We've been approached by several of them. We have proposals from several people asking us to help fix their schools. Those we will look at, and as we have more resources, we'll be attending to them one after the other. And this we intend to do to cover the entirety of Nigeria. Without any doubt, I think doing good CSR is also good business. If you take care of your neighbors, the benefits are there for you to reap, especially in times of trouble. It is not when you make money alone and you pay dividends to shareholders that you have done all the good that you can do. You must pay attention to also to the have-nots who are in the society, and that way we can build a peaceful community together.
Well, we hope more companies will continue to do more to develop our society. That's where we draw the curtains on Kaleidoscope for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to keep up with all our top stories on channelstv.com and reach us via social media handles scrolling on your screen. I'll see you again next time. I'm Anne Mwawadu. Thanks for watching.